This is going to be a video focused on dream control and 3 things I think that you should work on learning if you haven't already, because I think they will help you out a lot in your future lucid dreams. The first thing that I think that you should learn is to wait when it goes black. What do I mean by that? Well, if you've ever been in a lucid dream before, then you know that eventually that dream has to come to an end. Now, sometimes it comes to an end with you abruptly waking up, opening your eyes, and that's it. But a lot of the time you'll find that the dream sort of starts to fade, get blurry, get more and more vague and distant, and then it sort of fades out to black. Now, a lot of people here will just open their eyes and decide, oh no, I've woken up. But actually, when you're still in that blackness, you're not actually awake just yet. You don't have to open your eyes at this point. In fact, most of the time, if you just wait patiently, don't do anything, don't move, don't open your eyes, then you'll find yourself entering another dream. And so even if you have terrible dream stability and your dream ended after 30 seconds, sometimes just being patient and waiting can allow you to have another lucid dream. And this is something that I think everyone should pay attention to, because you're going to have lots of opportunities like this, lots of times where dreams end and it fades to black and you can easily enter another dream. So if you get in the habit of actually waiting during this stage, you're going to have a lot more lucid dreams overall, because you're not going to end up just having the one lucid dream when those dreams end. You're going to end up having 2, maybe 3, or even more. Something that you can do to help better make this a habit is to always wait in the black space. Even if you do realize that you are 100% awake in bed, you know, you've woken up, but you still have your eyes closed, just wait for say 30 seconds before actually opening them, just in case, just so you get in that habit, and just so if you actually aren't awake and you think that you are, you don't wake yourself up when you open your eyes. The second technique that I think every lucid dreamer should learn is what I like to call mind flying. So what do I mean by mind flying? Well, there are different ways to fly in a lucid dream. You can get up and you can flap your arms as if they're wings. You can put on a jetpack and start flying. You can strike up the Superman pose like I used to in my early lucid dreams. There's lots of ways that you can fly, but one of those ways is just using your mind. You can propel yourself around the dream just by imagining and willing yourself in a particular direction. So why is this useful? Why not just put on a jetpack? Why not just do that Superman pose? Well, if you're just intending to fly, it really doesn't matter which route that you take. Just pick the one that works for you. But the reason that mind flying is really useful to learn is you're going to find that if you're actually practicing wild and entering your dreams that way, sometimes you're going to have this very weird thing happen. You're going to find yourself starting to enter a dream and you can see it all around you clearly. It feels as if you're there, but not quite. You don't yet feel as if your body is in the dream. You feel as if your body is still in bed. And when this has happened, you've actually entered the dream, but not yet actually entered REM atonia. So your body actually isn't paralyzed in bed, which is why you can still feel it. And when this happens, if you wait long enough, your body will paralyze itself and you'll be able to move around in the dream. But sometimes if you actually try to move a little bit too early, you can end up waking yourself up. So if you find yourself in one of these dreams, but you can feel your body in bed, then it's easy to get impatient. You know, you're waiting for your body to paralyze so you can start moving around. You're waiting to actually be able to move around the dream. Or maybe you don't even realize. You feel like you can sort of feel your body in bed, but you're not sure if it's paralyzed yet. And so you decide to like reach out and touch something. And then you do that and actually your hand in bed moves and you wake yourself up. That can be really frustrating. So one way around this is when you're not sure if your body is in the dream yet, you know, if you're actually feeling your body in bed or your dream body, then what you can do is actually mind fly. You can will yourself around instead of actually trying to use any of your limbs, and you can do that until you're 100% certain that you can feel your arms and legs in the dream and not in bed. If you're using techniques like mild and wake back to bed and so on, then this isn't going to be super useful to you, but I recommend that everyone at some point learns how to do wild and DEILD, and once you're using those techniques, that's when this is going to be really helpful. Especially once you get really good at entering a dream really quickly through them, because the quicker that you actually enter a dream through wild or DEILD, the less likely that you are to actually enter REM atonia right away. Sometimes you can actually get to the dream before your body has got to that stage of paralysis. Now, mind flying is obviously a little bit tricky to explain because it really does just involve willing yourself in a particular direction, but experiment with that. Next time you're in a lucid dream, just experiment with that idea. Experiment with, first of all, imagining the sensation of moving forward, and if that doesn't work, just try and imagine the scenery in front of you sort of moving towards you and you moving towards it. Experiment with different ways of willing yourself forward and see what works for you. The third technique that I think every lucid dreamer should learn is what I call verbal scripting. Basically, you want to learn how to use your words to help change the dream around you. So there are lots of ways that you can do this. One of the ways that I've talked about quite a bit is actually using your words to control dream characters. So let's say that you want to spawn a particular dream character and you want them to be in the next room. Well, one thing that I like to do is I will imagine that I'm already having a conversation with them. And I'll say something like, oh hey, when you're done in the kitchen, can you bring me this? And because I wouldn't normally say that unless that person was actually in the kitchen and I was having a conversation with them, my subconscious then assumes that that person actually is there, so when I go into the kitchen, that person is standing there. But you can do this in other ways too. You don't just have to be talking to a dream character. You can be walking along the street and you can say, hey, I think around this corner, that's where the castle is. And go around the corner and voila, there's a castle. And you can use this in other ways. Sometimes you can actually ask the dream and make requests of it. You can ask your subconscious to show you something cool, or you can ask your subconscious to change the scenery behind you. Not only that, but when you actually describe things, it's easier for your brain to visualize them. So if you are trying to imagine that, you're going to turn around and there's going to be this interesting place behind you, then actually giving a vivid description aloud, actually speaking aloud what's going to be behind you, can actually make it more likely to work. Now I've got tons more dream control techniques as well as some advice on how to actually create your own in my book, The Lucid Dream Book. There'll be a link to it in the top right hand corner, and on that page you'll find out a bunch of information about what exactly is in the book so you can decide if it's right for you. There should also be a link down in the description below. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date when my new videos come out. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of the videos on the screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care.